One of the principles in SOLID is that when there's an error report, sometimes you need to fix the settings, and other times you need to fix the data. So the question is, how do you know which one you should fix? And it's always kind of a chicken and egg thing. So here I will go through two different sets of markers where we have that choice and try to explain how I made that choice for each of those sets of markers. I'm going to start with the GE-GN markers. So GE is the gloss in English, and GN is the gloss in the national language. So to find a record that has these, I will click on GE. So that takes me to a record with GE. Now, I actually want to see one with GN. Now, notice there's only 5 records that have the GN filled in. So let's see what's going on with those. I will click on GN. So here's one. Now, in this case, the sense level fields are coming in the order gloss English, gloss national, definition English, reversal English, reversal national, and PS. Now, I'm leaving the whole PS business for later, and there is no SN marker. The reason these are all red is because there is no SN above them, but I'll deal with that later. Right now, I just want to tidy up the cluster in the middle. So here I have GE and then GN. Now, in the lesson on examples, I talked about how sometimes it's helpful to hang several of them on a single marker so that if you have to change the parent for the whole cluster, you only have to change the parent for one of them, that you can pretend that one of the markers is the parent for the other, for its siblings, like the firstborn sibling or something. So I would really like to make GN be a child of GE, even though in Flex it is a sibling. But before I do that, I need to test what order they come in. If it is always in the order of GE, GN, then I can safely do that. But if it's kind of random, sometimes GE first and sometimes GN first, then I can't do that. If I was really committed to having the one be the parent, then I could clean it up every place they're in different orders, but I probably would not do that. So how can I find out what order they're in? There's a number of ways. Now, one thing I can do, in the markers menu, there are a number of commands that are useful for looking at patterns about the markers. So one of the options is data shape inventory. Now, what this means is what order do the markers come in? You may not figure out that that's what shape means, but that is what it means in this case. So I will click on that. And so here it's asking me what markers to analyze. And I want to analyze the GE marker. Now, the next two tell us how many lines above and below what we want to see. What it's going to do, it's going to tell me which markers come before it and which markers come after it. Well, in this case, I don't really care which ones come above it, so I will set this down to 0. Now, it's a little misleading. The first combo is for above, and the second combo is for below, and then this comment is unrelated to these boxes. So I do realize it looks like this comment goes with that combo, but that's not the case. So I will do 0 lines above, and I only want 1 line below. I really just want to see one thing. The more lines you show, the more combinations and permutations. Okay, so I have set it up to show me that, and so now I will click Run. And so there's the marker, and here's the count of how many times this sequence occurs. So the GE marker is followed by PS 205 times. It's followed by DE 1,374. And so I can scroll down and see a number of different things. And here's the GN one. That's only 3 times. Now there were 5 GNs, so that tells me, one thing it tells me, there are an awful lot of GEs that have no GN after them, but we knew that already. And out of the 5 GNs, only 3 of them are coming after the GE. Now I could do more with this. I could increase the number of lines above or lines below, but this has given me a clue. I'll just stop there. But this is a really useful tool. So another way that I could do that, I could just go ahead and say that GN needs GE as its parent. So let me click on this. And so in the settings, I will say that the parent is GE. And if it can't find a parent, it should report an error. And I really only want one of them. I don't want one GE and two GNs. It needs to be one to one. So I will accept that. I will do my save and my recheck. And now I want to look in my errors. Okay, there are some GE that could not be placed, but that's because the SN is missing. I come down here, so there is one GN that could not be placed in the structure. So I see this, and it could not be placed because it's before the GE. Now, if there were 753 of them, then I don't think I would do anything about it. I would just give up on the idea of having GE as the parent. But since there seems to be only one, I am going to go ahead and move it. So again, I put my cursor at the end of the previous line, and then I use the right arrow to get to the beginning. Hold down Shift and down arrow, and now I'm going to cut. I do Control X, and then I'm going to use my down arrow and then Control V to paste. I find that using the keyboard gets me much more accurate than using the mouse. With the mouse, I often end up in the wrong place. So I've done that. I will click Save, and notice that it redrew right away. I didn't even have to click Recheck, and so that came under that. So I will click Recheck now, and I look in the errors, and there is no GN under there. So that is a case where I chose to change the data. I did change the settings to make GE be the parent, but for the ones that didn't match what I wanted to do for the settings, I could actually change the data because there weren't very many of them. So let's look at another case. Another set of fields like that is the reversal. So here we see the reversal English. And then there is RN as well, but there's only 19 of them. Now, here there's an RN without an RE. Ideally, I really want the RN hanging off of the RE. Let's click through a few of them. Okay, this one is under RE, and that one's under RE. But we're seeing that the REs are kind of scattered. And so I don't think it's going to be a good idea. Well, okay, let's look at a few more. Maybe we can. So let's try it. Here's where it's alternating, RE, RN, RE, RN. Let's go ahead and try it. Let's say that RN has as its parent RE. And we want there to only be one of them. And we want it to report an error. So let's click Close, and we'll click Save. Now it didn't redraw, so let's do a recheck. Now if we come down here, there are 3 RNs that could not be placed. Now if those are the only ones that could not be placed, then that's not bad. And as I click through those, they all were missing an RE above them. So that's pretty good. So only 3 of them. I like having RE as the parent so that if I have to change its parent, I only have to do it on that. So for these, I'm going to go ahead and add the RN. I'll go back to the first of them, the RE. I will add in the RE field, and it's just going to be blank. If I click Save, it'll redraw, and then it looks, the RN came in black. I'm not worrying about these red ones yet. I'll get to those later. And so for this one, I will type RE, and I'm just going to move forward. Okay, let me click Save on that last one. So here in this case, we have a GE, and then the gloss in English, reversal English, gloss national, reversal national. So that's another way they often do it. I could have the RE hanging off the GE and the RN hanging off of GN. But that's not how most of the other records were. So in this case, I'm just going to move the RE. So I didn't actually want to insert a blank one here. That would have been a problem. So here we go. So the gloss, we have picture, pixa, and the reversal, we have picture and pixa. If I click save, then it reindents and it looks the way I want it. So in this case, I was also able to change the data. But again, if there had been too many of them, then I would have just left the settings so that they both had the same parent and that they were siblings of each other.